Did you know that over 2.6 billion wine bottles end up in the landfills each year in the US alone? Instead of letting your bottles go to waste, let's turn them into beautiful art pieces for your home. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to upcycle a wine bottle into a cheerful daisy painted piece using just basic acrylic craft paint and brushes. And the best part, it's way cheaper than a canvas because the bottle is free. Now let's get creative and reduce waste together. What we're going to do is we're going to pick up a small round detailing brush and some titanium white paint, and we're just going to paint a daisy flower shape. Now daisy flowers, the petals are nice and long and they're rounded at the end. They're not pointy, they're nice and rounded. And we're just going to repeat that petal all the way around. You can leave a little bit of a space between some of them. Daisy flowers don't have to be perfect here. Just getting that shape and having that white paint is just going to be, your daisy flowers are going to look perfect. You can't mess up daisies. See, now we're going to repeat that all over our bottle in different areas. You can actually also vary the shape, the size of your daisy too, so you can make some of them smaller, some of them bigger. You can have the side profile of some of them. I'll do that in one of the next steps. I'll show you how to do a side profile daisy flower. So the side profile ones, it's going to look a little bit like an umbrella. So we're going to paint the daisy petals downwards and towards the center. So that one is going to be down. So that's a daisy on its side. A smaller one over here. I'm going to vary the shape. And if you don't have a blue wine bottle, like this one has a blue tinge to it, you can base coat it with a nice, either a light blue or a dark blue like I have. I find with the dark blue, the white really pops. So that's a nice benefit of having a dark background with the daisies. But I've also done a light blue background in another tutorial. I'm going to link that in the description below. That also looks really beautiful. So we're just going to repeat this wherever you want your daisy flowers. Add one up here. Daisies are super easy flowers to paint. We're keeping the paint nice and thin here too. We don't want it too gloopy, so it dries pretty fast. So the next step of our daisy painting is we're going to grab a little bit of yellow on our small round brush, and we're going to paint in the center of our daisy flowers with a nice round simple circle. And then for these daisies that are pointed downwards, we're going to paint semicircle. If you find your yellow is a little bit translucent, you can just add a tiny bit of white. That's always a good tip when working with yellow, because the nature of yellow is very translucent. No matter what yellow you use, it's a very translucent color. So adding just a little bit of white, not too much because you don't want to change the color, but adding just a little bit can give it a little bit more opaqueness, because white, especially titanium white, has an opaque quality. So then it helps the yellow become a little bit more opaque too. So we're just going to repeat that on all of our daisy flowers, this yellow center, and then we're going to move on to the stems of our painting, which is going to be the final step. And if you're finding this tutorial helpful, I'd really love it if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So now we're going to draw the daisy stems. So I've grabbed my smallest round brush and I have some green paint here, and I've also mixed it with just a little bit of white because the green out of the tube, it wasn't giving enough contrast on the dark blue bottle, so I added just a tinge of white. So for the stems, we're just going to start out at the daisy flower and just paint flowy stem all the way down to the bottom of the bottle. And here it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be straight, just nice and flowy. And if you find this is like difficult to do, another option here too is grabbing a paint marker. Sometimes paint markers give a little bit easier, it's a little bit easier to handle than a paintbrush. So sometimes I switch over to a paint marker. And also too, another tip for getting these stems, get as much control as you can with the paintbrush and the paint, is having a thinner consistency paint. Not like liquid, because then it's just gonna run down the bottle, but not having it too gloopy. So you can add a little bit of water to your stem, to your paint mixture to get it nice and flowy. My hands sometimes get a little bit shaky. They're not so steady sometimes, so but that's okay. Just gonna try to go with the flow here and just get those stems on. Oh, and I'm gonna show you how it's a little bit different with a paint marker. So I have my Posca here, and I'm gonna paint this one with paint marker. So as you see, it's just a little bit easier to get control with the paint when it's in a marker form. Not sure why. Maybe it's just because we're so used to holding a pen. I like to show you guys the different options available. Make your painting experience fun, and you also get to grow too. It's always important to grow your skills and to enjoy it at the same time. And we're done the stems. Now I want to go in and add some leaves with our green paint. So I'm going to grab the same paintbrush I did before, and I'm just going to add in some leaves here and there, wherever I think needs a little bit of color, or if I have a big space and I want to fill it in with something, I can add in a leaf or two. So you're going to do this all around the bottle. And again, if you find that the green needs a little bit more to pop, you could come back and add another layer. But remember, with painting on glass, you want to make sure that the paint is completely dry below before you relayer, otherwise your paint might come off. You don't want your hard work going down the drain. This design would also look really nice on a wine glass. I know wine glasses are a popular thing that people like to paint. So you can do this design on wine glasses, you can do this design on mason jars, coasters, really anything. And that is it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this painting project, be sure to like and subscribe for more fun, easy, creative painting tutorials you can feel good about. Until next time, sending you lots of peace, love, and color your way.